Hello people! Today I have worked with some thermal polish, and you're seeing what they look like when they're warm and when they're cold. The beginning picture is what they look like a lot of the time. So we're doing my own nails, so let's get started. I'm using mostly Model 1 stuff today. And this is my first time playing around with this thermal polish, so I've been trying to figure out something to do with it. This is what I ended up with. This set took me about 3 hours and 45 minutes to do. And we're just going to coat. Now, see how sheer this is? I am going to be putting 3 coats on with this. It looked pretty good after the second coat, but I really wanted to make sure the color was going to be good, so I went with the 3, which you're going to see as we go along. And also I will be doing some filigree painting on here, which is okay, but I still going to need a lot of work. Okay, we've moved on to the second coat now. And as you can see, the color is now much better, but I'm going to go over it again. I'm going to be showing you some cards that I got off Ally for practicing the filigree stuff. I only had like 20 minutes to play around with it and practice over the weekend, so definitely need more work at that. But I did learn some stuff in that short amount of time, so... Okay, a little bit of cleanup. My cleanup brush is looking rather bedraggled there. I tried to straighten it out, but it didn't work. Okay, moving on to the third coat. Now we have a much nicer color. At least I think. The whole time I worked on these, they were the blue color, so I really wasn't sure how they were going to look when they were done, as the swatch I was working off of was kind of a medium-ish purple color. And when I swatched these, I did play around with them in hot and cold water to see what the different ones would do. So I do have other colors of this, so I will be doing some more at some point. Okay, now we're going to matte top all of them. Now, I really like the way this came out looking with matte. However, once I got the filigree design chromed, I used a Holo chrome powder. I did not like the way the chrome powder looked when it was matte, so then I decided to go glossy with them. There's a hair on there I was trying to get off, in case you couldn't figure that out. I know, what else is new around here? Oh, on the bright side, we got our car back. Yay. So we're now not prisoners in our home anymore. We can go out to the store and stuff. Okay, moving on. These are the cards I was just talking about. Now, there's all different ones. This is only 2 of them. But they have a coating on them, so you can paint over the designs to practice the different strokes, and then just wipe them off when you're done. So yeah, I need to do a lot more practicing, but this is just 2 of the different cards. There's all different types of stuff. Okay, moving on to the painting, we're using a white gel polish by Saviland and a detailer brush. I broke down and bought a new one because mine was starting to look a little used, I guess. You know, see how nice this looks matted? I really wanted to keep it this way. I might do some other design at some point with this and keep this as a matte. Now, one thing that I figured out practicing this is you really need to have the confidence to do it in one stroke. I had to go over that one there like 3 times, and that just doesn't look as good. If you can do it in one stroke, it does come out much nicer. But like I said, I need a lot more practice for this. And as long as it's going to take me to do the painting, on this hand with my good hand. You guys should have seen me doing my offhand. It would have been funny if I wasn't getting aggravated so much with it. Yeah, I got about halfway through painting my right hand, and all of a sudden it occurred to me, oh crap, I gotta have to use my offhand to do this on the other side. And I did not think it was gonna go very well, but I only had to wipe off 2 of them and start over, so it wasn't too bad. They don't look as nice, obviously, I think you see that in the hot picture that I have. I think I've got my left hand in there. Anyway, I ended up with a lot of things that kind of look like leaves on here, which isn't exactly what I was shooting for, but it was an intricate design nonetheless, and I was mostly happy with it. Like I said, it needs a lot more work. That one looks a bit wonky there on the tip, but... And I'm not trying to copy a pattern for this. I was just making this stuff up as I went along, as far as placement and what I was going to do. This one I'm leaving in real time, and I believe the second nail I left in real time, but the ones after that I sped up. So we won't need to sit through this because it did take me a while. Although I will say that the more I did, the easier it got and the faster I was getting at some of it. Also, I've figured out it comes out a lot nicer if I barely have any paint on my brush. I think sometimes I get way too much paint on there. As you can see, the name on my brush, well, you can't see it now, but a second ago you could. They're Bowen brushes. This detailer brush it's a double-ended deal, so it's got one on the other end that's slightly shorter bristles than this side. So I like that. My old one was like that too. I started using the longer side, then I never went back and used the shorter side anymore, but I do use that end for like cleanup, or if I need to clean a little tiny bit of something off of something. Yeah, I got carried away with these kind of hollow looking leaf things. I kind of wanted a lot more curly cues and things like that, but that's not what I ended up with, but oh well. Okay, I think I'm done with that one, and I'm flashing these in between each nail because I was afraid I was going to bump it and screw something up. Okay, this one will be in real time, and then the one after this, whatever's after this, I think there's one more, will be sped up somewhat, or to double time. I need to be able to learn how to get my lines much closer together. I've looked at some of the ones I've seen people paint like this, and they have these really super thin lines, and they're all like really, really close together. But I found that when I got my lines too close together, they would start to run together, and it just turned into a big blobby mess. So I don't know how they're getting those lines like that. Years of practice probably. Or you could do some of the design and then cure it, and then go back and put some more lines in. That way it wouldn't, the first ones are cured, so they aren't going to run into the new ones. That's a thought. I don't know why I didn't think of that while I was doing this, but you get like a one-track mind when you're doing something like that, and you're just going along doing it. I really like the way this polish looked though with the matte. It looks like a frosted blue glass, and I really like that. Oh wait, there's a hair again. Also, I'm learning how to start off with the brush, press down and then lift up the brush as I'm drawing it back. That makes the lines thinner. I need a whole class on just brush handling, I think. Because I would really love to learn how to do the one-stroke painting of the flowers. They look so pretty. I have fooled around with that a little bit, and I've tried it just messing around, and they did not come out well. It just did not go well. But it looks so easy when you watch somebody doing it. It just looks so easy. Then when I try it, it's like, nope. We're not going to work like that. We're going to look like a blobby mess. I was proud of the fact that I was able to get some nice thin lines on here for a change. That's something I've struggled with for a long time. So at least I'm seeing improvement on some of this stuff. And like I said, I'm just winging this as I'm going along. I'm just adding stuff. This one became kind of like a half flower, half leaf thing off the side of the nail, as opposed to a full design of something. Okay, that one's been flashed also. Now, as you can see, I have sped this up, so this one will go a little bit faster, and I don't think I show the thumb getting painted, so I was trying to put stuff in different places on the nails too. I think I've got these little open leaf things down pretty well now. Now I need to start practicing some of the other stuff. And once again, trying to paint stuff on my own nails always is awkward. I don't know how well I would do having to work with clients on work on their nails live like that. I think that would be a problem for me because I'm so used to doing the press-ons where I can just pick them up and turn them any way I need them. I think that working on a live person would be a lot more difficult. Just on the awkward factor of getting their nails to be where you need, facing the way you need them, and secondly, getting, from what I've seen posted by other nail techs, getting people to sit still while you're trying to do delicate stuff like that, and then they go in and out of the lamp and they bump it on there. I'd kill somebody after I spent a lot of work on something. I'd be so mad. Okay, those have all been cured now. I've done all the rest of them. Moving on. This is some of the new chrome powder I got recently. There was a set of, I want to say 10 maybe, or 12 even, I don't know. But this was the Holo Silver Chrome. Now theoretically, that matte top was supposed to keep the chrome powder from sticking to the base color. And when I did these on this hand, mostly it worked. The other ones on my offhand, for some reason I was having a lot of problems with it sticking to the base, and I don't know why. I think I must have gone and washed my hands, or I did something in between when I cured those and when I'm doing this now, because you can see the tips have gone cold. The only other option I could have done was taken the clear top and painted that over the design. Then I could have left the base matte. And then I also could have wiped them off with an alcohol wipe after I did the top on the design part to make sure I got the chrome all off of the base color. But I did not feel like repainting every one of those again with clear. So I was being lazy and I just didn't do it. For the most part, it brushed off okay. But like I said, there's some that just gave me a lot of issues, which you won't see because that was on my offhand. I mean, I'm really having to get after it with this brush, and normally you just want to brush chrome very lightly because you'll scratch it off, but it was on there really well, and I was really going to town with this brush trying to get it off of the base part, and it did not come off of the design parts, so at least there was that. And lastly, we'll see this one. The rest I will do off camera. See, this one has got a bunch of it stuck there near the tip part. This does not want to get off of that end. I did get out an old toothbrush that I had keep in my desk there, and on the other hand, I was using that to clean it off, which didn't really work any better than the other regular one. But there's where we are so far. And we are now moving on to the top coat. I'm using my tempered top on here. I would have loved to have left those be matte, but not to be this time. And I was going to leave that ring finger matte because I'm going to be putting the crystals on there. And then, I don't know why I just didn't stick with that plan, but then I decided I'm just going to top it now. I should have stuck with that because I had to retop that anyway after the crystals to clean the gluey mess up. And now it's got an extra layer top coat on it that it probably didn't need. Okay, we'll cure that. Now we'll move on to the crystals. We got our trusty gem glue. I'll be using these AB crystals and those silver ones there. All of those. And these ABs. Now, I'm not real happy with the way the cluster came out on these. We're going to start off with just putting like one or two here and there on some of the other nails, but when I get to the cluster, I wasn't super happy with how it came out. I really wish I had some pale blue crystals to do with the silver instead of the AB, but I didn't have any, surprisingly. So now I have actually an excuse to go on Alley and look for some of those pale blue crystals. And you just know I'm going to end up getting something else with it, because that's what happens. See, that one's one of the silver ones. And frankly, when you get them all together with the AB ones, they all look exactly the same to me. So there's no contrast in between different colors, so I think that's kind of lacking on here, but well, there you can tell that those are two little ones are AB and the other one's silver, but for the most part you really can't. They all look the same to me. And I got one more on the index finger. And then I will cure these guys when I get them on there, and I'm happy with where they are. I'm going to go ahead and cure those on. The ones on the middle finger, I think I had to do some adjusting because they're moving around. You can see I've got more glue there than I need, as usual. Okay, I've cured those. Now we're going to move on to the cluster on the ring finger. And I'm going to buff it a little bit to get the shine off of the center area where I'm going to be putting that. And just another reason why I should have left this matte until I got the crystals on there. But with the shine gone, they should stick on there better. Although I really don't have much problem with my crystals coming off. They pretty well are on there for good. Okay, now I've sped this one up because this one took me a good while to deal with. And of course, I had plenty of glue, but not where I needed it to be. I'm also still working with the bottom of that pot of glue that's got the skin on the top, so I've got to find a spot in there where I can poke through and get to the good glue underneath. Now here's where I went wrong. I should have used smaller crystals in between those. Instead, I put the ABs on that are the same size as those silver ones, and then it made this middle part kind of too big and bulky. Instead of changing them out, I just went with it. And I am going to cure this middle section before I go with any of the outer part, which I have done. And now I'm going to get glue all around this outside. Now I had a whole thing done on there, and it was really wonky looking. I did not like the way it looked, so I had it all on there. Before I cured it, I really didn't like it, so I scraped all of them off. And now we're starting over with the outside bits. They're going to go around there. I'm adding caviar beads to the in-between parts around the centerpiece of this. I didn't do that on the one that I scraped off. And I didn't want to make you guys sit through that whole one just to watch me scrape it off, so we've just eliminated that part of the video. And for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to want to stay in focus. Now the whole rest of this I will be doing in one go, so just trying to match up whatever I do on one part to the other parts, so we get something that's symmetrical in the end, hopefully. As you can see, some of my caviar beads are escaping down the side where I had too much glue over there, and they're running off. Don't worry, I will wrangle them back in place in a minute here. This one wasn't as bad, but see, there they go. But when we get to the thumb, you'll see the issues that I'm going to have because I put way too much glue on there. Seems to be a recurring theme for me lately. I don't know what's going on with this glue problem, but... Okay, now we're going to get these guys lined up in some kind of a something here that's in the middle where it's supposed to be. Another problem I had too is those silver crystals go really flat down to on the sides down to the nail. They don't have like that roundy edge to them like the clear ones. And pushing the caviar beads up against them, I was having issues with the caviar beads like sliding up on top of the crystals. Alright, okay, we did that one. I guess I was happy with it. We've cured it. Now we're moving on to the thumb and the giant glue mess that we're going to have here. I have got like maybe 3 times more glue on here than I really should have. So when you guys do these kind of things, don't put that much glue on because it's like putting the crystals in a swimming pool basically. You put them on there and they just move around however they feel like moving. And you have to spend a lot of time trying to get them in place. Sorry I'm out of shot on a lot of this. It gets better here in a minute. Needless to say, it was hot in here, and this was already late in the... We already have gone into early evening here now for this, and I was trying to just get done and get out of there. Let's see how we're all moving around. And we got these little teeny tiny ones going to go on the end, if I can pick them up. Alright, now we got to get you guys back in some kind of place in order. And then I'm going to put caviar beads on eventually when I can get that one to behave. Believe it or not, I'm actually adding more glue because there wasn't any down there near the end. I should have just took my brush and scraped some from the top down to the bottom part, but didn't think of it at the time. Now I'm starting this off with caviar beads that are the same size I used on the other one. But partway through I'm going to decide that I want some of the teeny tiny caviar beads near the ends of this so they don't look so big. So at some point you're going to see me start switching out to those other ones. Then they don't want to get off the brush. Also, what you didn't see because it was part of that first cluster that I scraped a bunch off of, but I did put the caviar beads, not these teeny tiny ones, but the bigger ones. I put those in a little pool of top coat so that when I was putting them on, they would be stuck on there better, and it would help to keep them in place while I was doing other stuff with them. It also puts a coating of the top coat on them so that they're covered with it, and it will keep them from losing their color, which sometimes happens if they get a lot of wear, if you're rubbing them on stuff a lot. Sometimes when you've got embellishments on that you're not used to, you kind of play with them with your other fingers and you're just rubbing over them, but that will, if you've got any metallic stuff, that'll just wear the metallic finish off of it. So you got to try to avoid doing that. I know it's hard. After you get used to having embellishments on your nails a lot, then you don't tend to play with them like that anymore. At least I don't. I was kind of happy to see my cactus nail set go because all those little like teardrop gold metal bits that I had on there, they were getting caught in my hair so bad. I could see if you were just a person that just got those for the first time and you never had embellishments like that, and you would be so aggravated with getting them caught all the time that you probably wouldn't want them anymore on there. And at first I was having that problem with everything, but after a while I've learned how to do things with my hands in a different way to accomplish the same goal, but not to get it caught on everything, which is helpful when you've got bigger things on there that stick up a lot more, like butterflies, or when I did my bee nails, those bee wings, I thought for sure were going to get caught on everything, and it was going to get ripped off of my nail, but it never did. Stayed on the whole time. Okay, now we're just trying to get these guys into some kind of proper order, because as you can see, everything is just sliding around like crazy. I seem to have lost one right there. On top of which I've got a lot of the excess glue is on my fingers now. I could not get these little end bits to cooperate that day. I don't know what was up with that. Okay, I think we're ready for curing that one. Nope, I'm going to do something else. What's happening here? Okay, let's see. I just want those end ones to be how they're supposed to be. So I have to keep moving stuff around. Okay, yay, we've cured that. Final step. We're going to go back around these. I'm going to butt this right up to the edge of there. That will help seal in and anchor your crystals on, and also clean up the gluey mess that I've slopped all over the base color. And then I will have to do a lot of cleaning up around here because I've now got top coat all over there. Like I said, I'm not super happy about how that cluster came out. It needs to have different colors in there. Alright, here we go. That's what they look like right after I finished them. Then I went in to wash my hands. And we're going to, when we're done looking at here, I'm going to come back here in a second. And any second now, here we go. That's what they look like right after I washed my hands in cold water. Look, you can already see they're starting to go blue again at the top. It was so hot in here. But that's what we have. The thumbs, my thumbs must be a lot warmer than the rest of my fingers because they always go blue the fastest. And here we are, like starting to turn again. Just showing a little bit more of what they look like. Kind of a gray and a purple now. I like it when they look about like this. Purple on the tips, blue on the top. And you get this perfect ombre of purple to blue, and you don't have to do anything. It just happens magically. I have to say, when I showered the first time after having these on, I spent an extra amount of time in there playing around with them in the water. Okay, there's the icy cold, and you saw the blue ones, and this is how they mostly look. If you liked them, please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I upload new videos every Saturday. And that's all I have for you this time. Stay tuned. Next time we're starting on Halloween nails. Okay, bye-bye. See ya.